to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. Thanks to every single person that has subscribed to this channel. We appreciate, love you so much for supporting us. Today, I really wanted to cover something that I don't usually talk about, but there is some kind of spiritual attack. I mean, there always is when you're doing any kind of spiritual or what they call light work. But there is some kind of spiritual attack happening on the Black consciousness community. When I look at, and it's not just happening to our communities, it's happening to other communities that are trying to bring the truth to their people, other, major players, major characters. But for us in the melanated community, I've really seen there's a major attack on our conscious men that are trying to bring out a different message for the brothers. I had shared a certain YouTuber called Foster eBay, young, brilliant man. All of a sudden, he went MIA. There's so many that have been taken, deplatformed, like Riza Islam, Irritated Genie. We saw the scandal that came out with Brother Polite. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if you've been following Young Pharaoh, but, that situation, I don't even really want to comment on it because I'm not too familiar with all the dynamics, but it definitely looks to me like it's some kind of, he's going through some kind of mental and spiritual attack or some juju, something, which is now, making him act in certain ways, beloveds. But I think it's really important at such a time as this for us to recognize just how few melanated conscious people are actually on these platforms sharing the knowledge, doing the research, doing the downloads. There are a lot of women who are also channeling. I mean, you can channel, beloveds. You can download this information. You just have to refine yourself and then tune into that inner frequency where you'll hear, certain truths, wisdoms, like a voice inside you narrating certain truths, wisdoms, etc., etc. But I think we shouldn't take for granted those that are coming to the forefront at such a time as this and have played such an important awakening role. And we must hold our consciousness, our Black consciousness YouTubers, Instagrammers, just anyone who's out there in the front lines in our prayers, and just keep a covering on them. And I really want to, at this point, just give a special thank you to everyone that prays for us. So many people I know send us their best wishes, and keep us in their prayers. I get so many of your messages and just send us, your love. We appreciate, love you so much. And it's so important at such a time as this because, beloveds, there has been the war is mental. The war is about your consciousness. So anyone who is going to try and, shift your consciousness from the trap of the enemy is the enemy of the enemy. And there are so many weapons right now. I know a lot of our chosen ones have been talking about gang stalking, and things that just like, they try and make you feel like you're crazy, basically. But let's really just support those. Recognize that regardless of what the scenario is, just recognize that at a deeper level, people are fighting serious wars. Serious spiritual wars, and fighting to hold the space. Fighting to hold the space so that they can, that consciousness space, so that more and more of our people can access it. So appreciate, love, what, even just gratitude for the messages that you've received. And if you see, beloveds, like most of the Black YouTubers, and this isn't knocking anyone, but most, especially when I look at the African YouTubers, there's very few that are spitting consciousness or spitting real news or spitting real truth. Very few. Most of them, because they've always had Africa playing catch up, most of them are now making money from promoting, like, living their best Babylon life, getting the house, getting the car, remodeling my house, getting my nails done, getting my weaving. Like, that's what the majority of them are speaking on. And this is like that whole thing of the band that was playing on the Titanic, beloveds. Like, the ship was sinking and the people were still talking about, the people were still watching people who were making it seem like everything's okay. Like, everything has shifted everywhere. So really appreciate, love, and show support for those few that are speaking out at such a time as this. What I've noticed is the women are standing strong. So shout out to all my fellow sisters, queens, goddesses who are bringing out that knowledge and that truth. And recognize, beloveds, it's not just against our collective, but all the collectives are being penetrated like this. And be very careful where you put your energy, beloveds. Like, always show love, always show appreciate love for your people. Even if you see them, falling off the path or going the wrong way or doing that, like, never put that hatred out there. And to my fellow, activists on the front lines, like, ignore the comments, ignore the negative comments. Don't take it personally. We're at war. Don't expect anything less. But don't take it in, because if you take it in, it's like swallowing poison. And if you recognize, like, if you see any of the negative comments, you'll usually see it's a trend of a certain particular person. And if they're attacking your person, then it's as simple as BLOCK, block. The wind is crazy, so let me stop there. Stay uplifted. Hello and welcome, family. How you doing? Welcome. I'm not sure if you're seeing this on the Dr. Mumbi show or the Dr. Mumbi spiritual show, but we just wanted to give you a special heads up. We've been getting, over the last 6 months, we've gotten so many emails from people asking about what they need to do about relocating to Africa. Before, it was like people needed general information, but now people are making some serious moves. So we've started a new community. We're going to actually be starting a new channel. You can find the links below. Go ahead and definitely subscribe and hit that notification button so that you find out when we launch our first video. But in case you want to see already, the pre-production stage, find us on Patreon, Karibu Nyumbani. And Karibu Nyumbani basically means welcome home. You can also find the link below. And it's everything you need to know about repatriating to Africa. And the reason we've decided to create the online platform is because people are in need of lawyers, of bankers, of realtors, etc., and advice from these people on how to relocate back to the continent. As someone who relocated 10 years ago, there's a lot of experience that I have under my belt about what the relocation process looks like. So definitely, beloveds, consider subscribing to the new channel, links down below, and join us, more importantly, on Patreon, where you can even ask questions. And by the way, if you're a creator, in terms of, if you're what they call professional, if you're some kind of, if you're a realtor, if you're a lawyer in your country and you'd like to be a country representative to help people relocate, or if you have a consultancy agency, definitely reach out, Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. You can also join our Patreon family, where we do have a special section for, local country representatives, where we can be sharing all the information, real estate projects, etc., that you have coming up with our wider family. So happy to be starting this journey with you. We wish all of you the greatest success in returning back home. Karibu Nyumbani.